at the next update here. Now, following the recent unrest in Mangu local government area of Plateau State, Governor Caleb Mufwang has imposed a 24-hour curfew in the area to restore law and order and to forestall further loss of lives and destruction of properties. The governor, after consultation with the State Security Council, ordered that movements within the local government have been banned until further notice, except for security personnel and persons on essential duties. Now, security agencies have been directed to ensure total enforcement and compliance with the curfew. Meanwhile, the governor has assured the people that the government is working round the clock to restore peace and security in the state. We'll now be joined by Captain OYA James. He is the Media and Information Officer of the Operation Safe Haven, to give us on his side an account of what exactly is going on. Thank you so much, Captain, for joining us on Daybreak this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Yes. Well, we've heard allegations by the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association regarding your men, an allegation to the effect that your men burned some houses in Mangu local government area. What exactly happened?
Okay, thank you very much. This issue of the Mango in particular, or Plateau in particular, is a lingered crisis that has been there for more than 2 decades now. And due to these persistent attacks between the Fulanis and the locals, and this has made the commander, who just took over just of recent, day before yesterday, to redeploy his headquarters from headquarter operation Safe Haven down to Mangu in order to manage and to assess this crisis with making immediate, finding immediate solution to resolve this conflict. Now, after taking over, I tell you, yesterday we moved down here after hearing about the attack, and the enforcement was made, and calm was restored, and MRAPs and other AAs were deployed because there are many news we receive and the intelligence gathered from our men. There are places that are vulnerable to attacks. And as you know, the issue of Plateau, sometimes an attack might not be just one, might be 3, 4, 5 at a time. So we have made a deployment and reinforcement in order to counter all this. Now, yesterday, in taking over from the situation, the commander makes on a preventive deployment, which led to the arrest of some communities and locals that were fighting each other. We led to the arrest and the recovery of 5 local fabricated rifles. So we are on top of the situation as I'm talking to you, but meanwhile the situation is tense because both sides are being tried to raise so that calm will be restored fully. Now, the issue of curfew that was imposed yesterday by His Excellency the Governor of Plateau State in liaison with the Commander of Operation Safe Haven, the commander himself was on ground to enforce it, where we arrested almost 40 defaulters. And the commander reprimanded and admonished them and later let them go. Now, in issue of this crisis, it is a communal clash between the Fulanis and the locals. And the commander is trying, by 11 a.m. this morning, is meeting with the stakeholders, both from the Fulanis and the locals, the Matialas and Co, so that we can
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
All right.
It appears as if we have lost.
Okay. Hello, do we have you, Captain?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so go ahead. So, yeah, but while you are explaining this,
yes,
as to where did this allegation of, the troops of Operation Safe Haven, burning some houses, where did that come from then?
This is cheap propaganda by the enemy of the state. I want to tell you that the Operation Safe Haven is a professional organization, and we are not taking side in any of this because we are neutral. We are both for everybody, and we are not here to take side because that is not our job. Our job is to make sure normalcy is restored, law and order is restored, and the people go back to their normal businesses. But issue of burning of houses, I'm just hearing that because here in Plateau, there is nothing like that.
All right, Captain. From what we have heard so far, it appears as if there's some form of suspicion on both sides. In this story, the Fulani community is alleging that there are plans to chase them out of the state. Now, apart from the military aspect of it, is anything being done to assuage their fears? Is anything being done to assure them that there's nothing like this on ground?
Okay, Ma, let me just brief you a bit. As I'm talking to you now, there was an attack yesterday in Marabam Bashi that the troops have to move swiftly in order to protect the locals. And there are Fulanis that were still residing within that axis. And as I'm talking to you, our people are moving there to protect them. Now, the issue of whether the locals want them to be relocated out of the state, I think it's not possible because the state belongs to everyone. All what we are fighting for is for peace, so that both people can stay together, live together, and do business together. No country or no state can be on its own. They are all people from this state. So those allegations are just mere allegations. If you're on ground, the situation is more than what you hear on air. Just as you are saying, the Fulani are alleging that Operation Safe Haven is either complicit to the issue, we sent in the locals. Because when they try to attack each other, we come into no, there's no need for on a round table and resolve it. And they feel you are being supportive to the other people and then rejecting their own opinion. It's not like that. We are neutral on this.
Okay, we are also aware that several meetings have been held by representatives from both parties to find a way to reach, to find a lasting solution in this regard. But yet, these attacks have continued. The previous engagements that you have you had the commitment of both parties to sheathe their swords?
Yes, we have done that. The issue we are having here is attack upon attack, reprisal attacks. When the Fulanis or the herders attack the locals will want to pay back. And the previous stakeholder meetings we have been having have been yielding results, which, if not for that, I think the state could have been on fire. You understand? So the meetings we normally have with the stakeholders have really got a long way. And that is why we opt for another meeting, because each local government has their own martial or have their own handle. So when issue comes up from that side, you have to call those people from that side to come there. We sit on a round table and discuss what is the problem so that the issue is being resolved. And that is why, as I'm talking to you, the commander is on ground and want to meet with all the stakeholders today by 1100 so that this issue will be resolved amicably and all sword will be shared.
All right, Captain. Before this administration came in, there was relative peace in that state. So while the governor and stakeholders are meeting, is it possible they can look at whatever template that was used under the past administration to maintain peace in that state?
Yes, it's the same set of people and it's the same template. You get what I'm saying? It's the same template we are using. For instance, the commander who just took over is following the footsteps of the commander that were before him. And he is even assuring the people that he will not leave any stone unturned. And that is why he wants to be on ground. Instead of being fed with information, he wants to be there to get the first-hand information and what is happening. So the relative peace that was being enjoyed, yes, if you look at within that period, it was it was a dry season, and now we're in a farming season where these issues of clashes between herders and the farmers normally occurs. You understand?
Okay.
So I believe with the meeting today, a lasting solution will be reached by both.
Okay, have you been able to identify and arrest those who are fomenting trouble, in this conflict?
Yes, as per yesterday, if you look at the news, we arrested some people, and even we were able to recover five local-made AK-47s from them, and we recovered 19 rounds of 7.62 mm special and 4 rounds of 7.6 mm NATO from them.
Apart from
they are in our custody, and they will definitely be dealt with.
Okay, because I was going to say that those who are caught, are they made example of to serve as a deterrent to others who may want to, do the same?
Yeah, that is what I just said, that after everything, they will be made to face the drum of the law, because when you try to cause a breakdown of law and order, then you should be ready to also receive the punishment for it.
Okay, and, Captain, just before you go, what would be your call to these communities in this instance?
Right. The only thing I will say about this is that the community should please not take laws into their hands. We are here on ground. We are here to make sure that peace is restored. No country or state can develop without peace. So we are begging, and we are also pleading with them to please hold their grievances. Whatever, our doors are open. The commander that just took over, make his door open. Anytime you call him, he's ready to pick your call. Say your grievances. And before now, there are templates we have on ground. When a herder encroach into the farm of a farmer, we call the boats, and amicably they settle, and compensation are being made. The same thing when a farmer either poison or kill a cow belonging to the herder. The same thing is done. So we are pleading with the locals that please, and the herders too, they shouldn't take the laws into their hands. When there are issues, they should just call. When they make calls, the Operation Safe Haven lines is available. Make call. An arrest will be made. Issue will be brought in under control. That is what we want to plead. And also the stakeholders want to plead with them to also talk to their youths, both the herder side and even the locals.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Captain OYA. James.
We'll continue enjoying the relationship. Yes, I'm listening.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak this morning and giving us this information on what is going on in Mangu. Thank you. We do appreciate that.
No problem. You're welcome anytime.
All right. Well, that was the voice of Captain OYA James, the Media and Information Officer of Operation Safe Haven.